the young and the restless spoilers. Oh my God, besties. Welcome back to our channel. Today is Friday, a beautiful day to absolutely lose our minds over the most insane Genoa City drama. We are spilling all the tea right now, and you need to buckle up because things are getting wild. You guys, I am deceased. Stop what you are doing. I am literally shaking. Wait, we need to talk about this now. I am literally filming this while I'm running errands, gripping my steering wheel so hard my knuckles are completely white because I just had to jump on here and vent. I was mid-skincare last night, watching this unfold, and literally smeared charcoal mask all over my expensive cream rug because I had to yeet my phone across the room. Send help. My soul has actually left my body. We are not just watching this show anymore. We are physically, emotionally, and spiritually invested, and I am personally victimized by what Nick Newman just did. I am spiraling. We are spiraling. Let's dissect this absolute cinematic mayhem right this second. Wait, backtrack for a second. I missed a step. My brain is literally buffering from the sheer audacity of this plot. Okay, so we know Nick checked out of rehab against medical advice, which is honestly so unhinged. Like, bestie, be for real right now. You are a Newman. Your parents are literally planning a lavish vow renewal in Venice, and you are rotting in a dingy, flickering, neon light motel room that probably smells like stale cigarettes and despair. I can genuinely picture the peeling floral wallpaper, and don't even get me started on the vibes it's giving total horror movie aesthetic. He just woke up from that absolute psychological torture chamber of a nightmare where Matt Clark was basically parading the ghosts of Nick's past, dragging Cassie, Sharon, Adam, and Victor into this hallucination to break Nick's mind. So Nick is already at rock bottom, sweating, hyperventilating, and completely vulnerable. And then, knock, knock, enter Marie Kirkland. Oh, hold on, I should have mentioned this earlier. But Marie is the girl from the room next door who heard him screaming in his sleep. At first, I was like, okay, maybe she's just a concerned citizen. Maybe she's the wake-up call he needs. Nope, I am glitching just thinking about it. Marie walks into this room, takes one look at Nick Newman in all his tragic, broken billionaire air, glory, and just casually drops the bomb that she is an addict too. She straight up admits it with zero shame, zero hesitation, and you can literally see the gears in Nick's head completely short-circuiting. She is looking at him like, hey, I see you, I know what you are, and I am exactly the same. It was so raw and so chaotic that I literally stopped breathing for a solid minute. Nick, because he is Nick Newman and literally cannot turn off his toxic savior complex, even when he is actively drowning, immediately tries to play the hero. He starts backpedaling, insisting that he just needs one night to rest, just one night to gather his strength before he marches right back into that rehab center and gets his life together. He is genuinely trying to convince himself just as much as he is trying to convince her. And then, which is honestly so unhinged, he looks at Marie, this total stranger who just walked into his disaster zone, and decides that she needs help. He thinks she needs saving. He wants to be the knight in shining armor for the girl next door, because that is basically his entire personality. He cannot help himself. But Marie, oh my God, Marie is officially on my do not perceive list. But I am also totally living for her absolute lack of filter. She looks at Nick's attempt to save her and basically laughs in his face. She is perfectly content with her current life. She is not looking for a savior. She is not looking for a hero to drag her to a meeting. She is riding her spiral all the way down, and she is totally fine with it. She tells him she doesn't expect him to rescue her, wishes him good luck on his little rehab journey, and just walks out, just leaves. The sheer unbothered energy of this woman. I was sitting there screaming at my screen, like, who is this girl, and why is she so iconic but also so evil? Did I say that yet? My brain is mush. Moving on. So Marie leaves the room, and Nick is left alone with his thoughts, his trauma, and his stash of fentanyl. And you guys, what happens next literally had me cheering. I was standing on my couch, pumping my fist in the air. Nick takes the drugs, walks into that gross little motel bathroom, and he flushes them. He flushes the fentanyl down the toilet. The cinematic drama of the swirling water, the absolute monumental weight of that decision. It was a high-octane psychological masterpiece. He is staring at the water going down the drain, and you can see the resolve in his eyes. He is going to beat this. He is going to survive. He is going to get clean for Sharon, for Noah, for Summer, for himself. I was genuinely crying real tears, thinking we had finally turned a corner. I was ready to plan the welcome home parade. But wait. I am literally hyperventilating right now, just remembering what happened next. My heart is pounding out of my chest. Just as Nick is standing there, probably feeling like he just conquered Mount Everest, there is another knock at the door. It's Marie. She is standing there in the doorway, looking all innocent and chaotic, and she says, and I quote, "I forgot my motel key. I am deceased. I am in the ground. I have passed on." The forgotten key trick? Are we serious right now? Bestie, be for real. That is the oldest, most manipulative, most villainous trick in the entire book. She didn't forget her key. She knew exactly what she was doing. She sensed that Nick was trying to pull himself out of the dock, and she decided to drag him right back down into the abyss with her. I am calling it right now. Her villain arc is about to go nuclear, and I am genuinely terrified for Nick. So Marie comes back into the room to look for her key, and while Nick is distracted, she leaves a packet of drugs right there on the bed, a fresh packet, just sitting there on that ugly, cheap motel bedspread, mocking him. It was like watching a horror movie where you're screaming at the screen, "Don't go in there. Don't look at the bed." But he looks, he sees it, and all that resolve, all that strength he had 2 minutes ago when he flushed his stash, it evaporates. It is straight up gone. And then the absolute unthinkable happens. They do it, they get high together. I literally had to pause the episode and walk laps around my living room because I was too unwell to handle the gravity of these events. Nick Newman, the golden boy, the man who was supposed to be the moral compass of that messy billionaire family, is sitting in a motel room getting high with a stranger. The stakes are astronomical right now. Victor and Nikki are probably picking out floral arrangements for their vow renewal, completely oblivious to the fact that their son is actively relapsing in the most tragic way possible. I am so done with this family, but I also cannot look away. As the drugs kick in, the vibe in the room shifts. It goes from this tense, awkward encounter to this hazy, toxic, trauma-bonding session. Marie starts talking, and she is just spilling all her tea. She confesses that she has a husband, but he doesn't understand her. She casually drops that he won't be her husband for much longer. Soon-to-be ex-husband alert. And I'm just sitting here like, who is this man? Is he looking for her? Does he know she's in a motel in Genoa City, enabling a billionaire heir? I need a full background check on this husband immediately. But then Marie goes deeper. she veers off into this story about a car accident. She explains that she was in this terrible crash, and that was the catalyst for everything. That was the start of her addiction, the pain, the pills, the descent into this life. And you guys, you can just see Nick's entire demeanor change. He's staring at her, and his empathy is just bleeding out of him. Nick has always been a sucker for a broken woman with a tragic backstory. It is his ultimate weakness. He did it with Sharon, he did it with Phyllis, he did it with Chelsea, and now he is doing it with Marie. He is looking at her not just as a fellow addict, but as a kindred spirit. They are both broken, they are both hurting, and they are both hiding from a world that expects too much from them. The chemistry in that room was genuinely suffocating. It was so thick you could cut it with a knife. The drugs are clouding their judgment, the trauma is linking their souls, and the sheer desperation of the moment is just pulling them together like magnets. I am gripping my face right now just thinking about it. Nick is empathizing with her story, nodding along, feeling every ounce of her pain because it mirrors his own. He understands what it's like to have your life derailed by a single catastrophic event. He understands what it's like to feel like nobody in your pristine, perfect family gets it. And then send help, the conversation stops. The room goes quiet. The only sound is probably that weird humming AC unit in the background, which, by the way, why do motel AC units always sound like a jet engine taking off? Anyway, tangent over. Back to the tea. They are just staring at each other. The tension is straight up vibrating off the screen, and then they kiss. They kiss. Not just a little peck, besties. A passionate, desperate, world-ending, chaotic kiss. I screamed. I literally screamed into a pillow because my neighbors probably thought I was being attacked. They are kissing like the world is ending outside that motel door. It is messy, it is unfiltered, and it is a complete and total emotional train wreck. This isn't romance. This is survival. This is two drowning people clinging to each other and pulling each other under. And it doesn't stop there. The kiss gets deeper. The passion just explodes. And they literally fall back onto the bed together. The bed where she just left the drugs. The symbolism, the cinematic parallels. I am genuinely losing my mind over the absolute artistry of this disaster. They are falling onto the bed, completely lost in the high, lost in the trauma, and lost in each other. It is giving major, we are going to regret this for the rest of our lives energy. And I am entirely here for it. I am calling it right now, manifesting a total dumpster fire by the next update. What is going to happen when Nick wakes up sober? What is going to happen when Victor finds out his son didn't just leave rehab, but he went on a bender with a random woman in a motel? What is Sharon going to do when she finds out Nick broke his promise again? The fallout from this is going to be biblical. I am genuinely unwell. I need to go lie down on the floor and stare at the ceiling for at least 3 business days to process this. Wait, I'm glitching. Okay, back to the main event. Just think about the psychology here. Nick was this close to saving himself. He flushed the stash. He made the choice. But Marie came back. She actively, deliberately chose to sabotage him. She is the ultimate enabler. And Nick, in his weakened, traumatized state, just folded like a cheap lawn chair. It breaks my heart, but it also makes for the most incredibly compelling, unhinged television I have ever witnessed. I am officially obsessed with this storyline, and it is now my entire personality. I will be discussing nothing else for the foreseeable future. If you need me, I will be replaying that scene in my head, trying to figure out if Marie is a real person, a hallucination, or a demon sent straight from the underworld to test Nick Newman. because right now my grip on reality is slipping, and I am fully invested in this chaotic, messy, beautiful disaster. Stay tuned, besties, because Genoa City is about to burn to the ground, and we have front row seats to the ashes.